let's be honest. When you forgive, can you forget? Can you really forget? You just pretend it didn't happen. But you don't forget. You don't forget. So these are the things that are happening in Christianity. And so people easily, one thing we should be careful is that we don't contribute to somebody's tiredness. Don't play a role in somebody's tiredness. For someone to say, I'm tired of this church. I'm tired of Christianity. It's always suffering. I'm done. And then they shouldn't make a reference to you. Because of you. Because of this person. I'm done. I'm tired. Like this thing, I'm tired. We should be builders of each other. Are you catching the picture? This is what God wants us to be. This is how God wants his people to be. We should be builders of each other. When there is a construction on a site, what are the plumbers doing? What are the carpenters doing? What are the masons doing? What are the electricians doing? They are doing their part to make the building complete. If the mason is saying that I don't want to be mason anymore, I want to start plumbing, there will be an issue. So we are supposed to play a part in the next person sitting by you or behind you in their building up, not in their coming down. I'm supposed to hold your hand. You were supposed to what? Hold my hand. The day I let go your hand, there's trouble. The day you let go my hand, there was trouble. When Peter and the disciples saw Jesus walk on the sea, what did Peter say? Lord, if it is you, command me to walk on the sea. Did Jesus say, Peter, you don't respect a whole me, Jesus, I'm on the sea. You also want to come on the sea. That's not what Jesus said. Jesus could have said, I know you from day one. I knew you were very, why are you like that? No. He said to Peter, come up. And Peter moved. And actually, the only disciple that walked on the sea was Peter. And then the Bible says when he saw the turbulence and he saw the wave on the sea, his fear came up. So he began to sink. What did Jesus do? You brought it on yourself. Sorry, Peter. Guys, we got funeral on our hands. That guy dead. Is that what Jesus did? When Jesus saw Peter sinking, Bible said immediately he held the hand of Peter and pulled him up. And they said, why do you have little faith? He didn't condemn him. He didn't insult him. He said, you see, guys, all of you, have you seen it? If you don't have faith, don't be telling me to come and walk on the sea. That's not what Jesus did. Bible says Jesus knew that Judas Iscariot was stealing from their coffers. He was the financial secretary of the ministry. Jesus knew that Judas Iscariot was what? Stealing the money. He never one time called Judas and questioned him. Good. Because after being with Jesus for 3 years, preaching, teaching, and you still want to steal, what should you usually do? No, if the medication is not working, what does it mean? You are condemned to that. One time, somebody went to break a very expensive box of perfume at the feet of Jesus. What did Judas say? We could have sold this thing and used their money for the widows and the orphans. Of course, he was lying. He wanted them to sell and he get his share. What did Jesus say? Judas, here again. I've been keeping quiet this time around. Hold my... No. Jesus looked at Judas and said, the widow and the orphans you always have. I'm not here always. That's what he said. Such a gentle man. He could have really insulted him. He could have demoted him. He could have sacked him from the camp. Even when they were having the Last Supper, and Jesus said, one of you will betray me. They were asking, Master, is it me? Is it me? And then Judas asked, is it me? He said, you said it. And then he looked straight into the eyes of Judas Iscariot and said to him, what you have to do, do it quickly. Right there, Judas went out and sold Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. Jesus knew his role to play was not to condemn Judas. Judas condemned himself. You condemn yourself by your mentality and how you judge things and your own character. Jesus didn't condemn him. And I believe if Judas had asked for forgiveness, Jesus would have forgiven him. Because when Peter denied Jesus 3 times and he was sorry, when Jesus rose from the dead, he said to Mary, go and tell my brothers, including Peter. He forgave him because he died for them all. The Bible says Judas felt so bad. He didn't know that was what they were going to do to Jesus. He went back and gave them the money. And they said, the deal is done. We can't give you the money. And the Bible says there's a word for that. The demons that tormented him were demons that possessed children. So those demons possessed children and they tormented him till he died. He hanged himself, and up to now, the place where he hanged himself, nobody had bought that land. It's called the land of desolation. He could have been forgiven. What a lot of Christians easily do is when they are tired, they begin to complain. Have you found yourself doing that before? When you are tired and you have a lot on your mind and it seems that it cannot be possible, you are tempted to complain. And anytime you start to complain, your faith disappears and the devil comes in. Be careful. So whilst Job had all the wounds on him and he was so poor and so broken, his wife said, why don't you curse God and die? He looked at the best solution is to curse God and die. Because the temptation was there. Actually, Jesus had the same temptation on the cross. He shouted, Father, why have you forsaken me? He asked the same thing. So the temptation to almost want to complain or ask questions for what you are going through is there. But you must quickly revive yourself because something evil will take over. Remember this, as long as you are a child of God, evil will never leave you. Did you get it? As long as you're what? A child of God, evil will not leave you because evil is against you. For being a child of the light, evil is against you. The little time you are tired and you start complaining, evil takes over. God told Cain, evil, sin is always at the door. Never forget this. That was what he told Cain. Sin is always at the door. Evil is always at the door. A little opening, it will enter. Always at the door. They took this woman to Jesus because according to the law of Moses, if a woman is caught in harlotry, the woman should be stoned to death. And they said, let's take her to Jesus and see what Jesus will say. Because they were looking for Jesus actually to blame him on a lot of things. So let's see if Jesus will go against the law this time. They took, and I don't understand why the law said if a woman is caught prostitution, they should kill the woman and leave the man. Who paid the woman to sleep with her? So why are the men left out? So Jesus told them, the law was made because of your heart, your stubborn heart. You see? And then they took the woman to Jesus. The Bible says Jesus bent over and wrote some things in the sand. I'm sure he wrote foolish people. And then he rose up and asked them, all you guys holding the stones, if nobody here has sinned before, cast the first stone. And they left. What did Jesus tell the woman? He says, woman, where are your accusers? Never forget this. As a child of God, you have a lot of accusers. Never forget it. And then she said, they are all gone. And Jesus said to her, go and sin no more. Jesus didn't condemn her. Jesus didn't judge her.